Can Ed Skrein top Jason Statham in the new Transporter movie? So Transporter Refueled. This movie is absolutely and utterly ridiculous. Here's reality, here's Transporter Refueled. So far beyond reality that I'm not even sure you can call it an action movie anymore. Think back to the 80s when they had the action movies that didn't even try to be grounded in reality, that was so over the top that it made it fun. This was that over the top plus 10 more. It has the style of a new age action movie. High special effects, lots of explosion, the Michael Bay effect, but it's so unrealistic and so ridiculous that it makes it hard to take anything in the movie seriously. It breaks immersion a lot. Now, I'm not saying this is the worst movie ever made. I'm not saying this is a horrible action movie. Some of the stunts were fun to watch, were entertaining enough, but when you actually look at the story and the things that he was pulling off and the things that he was doing, I can't even think of the number. I can't even count on my hands the number of times that all the person had to do was shoot him as he was walking away and the movie would have been over. It happens so many times. It's like this, okay, you need to suspend disbelief. Okay, suspend a little more. Okay, suspend a little more. Okay, that one might have been a bit much, suspend a little more. And that's kind of how the movie goes all the way through. When it comes to the actual plot, it wasn't bad. It had some twists and turns you don't expect. Some of it was a little predictable, but there were a couple things I didn't guess was going to happen, which is nice. The characters themselves, Ed Skrein and then the gentleman that plays his father, did a very good job. They were entertaining. I felt that the two of them sold their roles really well. They seemed like a bickering father and son duo, and the surrounding cast, the transported goods from the trailer, did a good job as well. They all fit what they were supposed to be. Overall, though, it's hard to enjoy the movie and become immersed in the movie because it's requiring so much of that suspension of disbelief. I understand that action movies aren't supposed to be 100% accurate, but you gotta draw a line. You gotta draw a line at a certain point, otherwise it just becomes ridiculous. So I give this movie a 6 out of 10. It's not a horrible movie by any means. It's not like garbage bin, $2 bin, but it's by no means a good movie. This is not a run out and buy or run out to the theaters kind of movie. I would definitely consider this to be a wait till rental movie. Don't expect a fantastic plot from this one. So let's see what our other transporters had to say. Transporter Refueled, what do you think?
Okay, I expected a lot more because of the first movie. I've always expected more. I always thought they could do better, but this one, it was good. I loved the idea of what they were going with. I sat there for a while wondering exactly what this movie was going to end like. Towards the end, I thought it was going to be your usual, oh, look, guy gets the girl, the usual, everybody lives or everybody dies, one of those twists that you always see, but it wasn't in any way what I thought it was going to be. It had its moments where I was like, yeah, that was going to happen. But I do want to bring up that point of what you said. He could have died so many times in this movie. I wish I could bring out one point because it was literally so much time that the guy could have just shot him. And you're just like, your point, just pull the trigger. But it was pretty bad. And that was exactly what I was thinking when you started saying it. I was like, it was just horrible in some of it. I will say, I loved his fight scenes. Some of those, what he would do is just like, oh, well, that was cool. Oh, okay, I would never thought of that. It's cool little things like that. I always thought Transporters had those really cool fight scenes. Not as much as, yeah, the driving's good too, but some of it you're kind of like, okay, you're spotless. How did that happen? Other than that, good movie. Action-packed, yes. Did it have at points where you kind of sat there and went, yeah, a lot of it. All in all, good movie. Not one I would say you have to see in theaters. This is more of your Netflix, get it, or maybe even Redbox, I do a lot of Redbox when I want to see it and I didn't see it in theaters.
I knew that this would probably be nothing more than a TV movie, an extended commercial of an Audi with stunt work and action and a little bit of a story just to kind of put a little icing on the cake. Because my expectations were low, I wasn't disappointed at the least bit. Now, I have not seen any of the Transporter films, so I cannot say whether this is the best one or not, obviously. So I'm going to try to reserve a little bit of judgment on this particular movie until I see the other Transporter films. But my guess is the others were much better than this one. Primarily because you no longer have Jason Statham. And I've seen him in other films. He's a really good actor. He's really good in action scenes. So I have to say he's probably good in Transporters. Why else would they make 3? The only thing about this movie that I really enjoyed, if anything, was the dynamic between Ed Skrein, and Ray Stevenson. And their father-son dynamic duo was a little entertaining to watch. I did enjoy that. It didn't take away from the movie. It actually added to it. Unlike A Good Day to Die Hard, that was a mess, by the way. That's pretty much sums up my opinion for Transporter Refueled, which must mean a reboot. Jeez, who would have thunk?
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this in 1?
Probably a 4, because, again, part of me was like, I hope this movie ends soon. Is it almost over? Is it almost over? And it wasn't terrible, but your run-of-the-mill TV movie, I could have gone without watching it ever in my life. So, didn't hate it, but didn't like it at all either.
I will give this a 6.5. And the reason being is because I really liked the plot, and I liked how they went with it, and I liked the fight scenes. It was just those moments where I sat there and couldn't really get into it is why I couldn't give it any more. Why I didn't want to give it so less is because I did enjoy the movie, so of course I want to give it a decent rating.
So I'm curious to know, based off the previous actor that played Transporter, what's your favorite Jason Statham movie? And just shoot that answer down in the comment section below. So join us next week when we watch Maze Runner Scorch Trials, the sequel to the very good action movie Maze Runner. If you want to see our review for Maze Runner, go ahead and click right here. So don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe to the channel for more video reviews every week. And as always, we're letting you know before you go at Brendan Theaters.
Well, I didn't know how much time it would take. And Michael here doesn't want to have to go rummage through it. Yeah, I'm doing that for you, Mike. I'm going to shut up now and get to it.
He's talking to himself.
Third person, anybody?
I've lost 4 pounds in the last 2 weeks, so maybe there's a less undefined.
I can tell you we're rolling long enough for me to see grab your boobs.
Awesome.
Gag reel. So can Ed Crane, strain, is it Scrain? S-K? Scrain?
Ask me your 1 to 10 question as a marker.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this in 1?
I knew you were going to ask that.